Morning, good morning, good morning. It's Thursday. Football's back. Orioles won again yesterday, so things are going good. Things are going good. Love the game tonight, so I'm gonna get to that in a moment. Got my bets ready to go, so I'll have that out as soon as I finish the pod. Quick little recap here with the Orioles is we're still alive, still alive, still alive, still alive. 4 games out. As long as they don't get to celebrate tonight, it'll feel like a victory. And if they can get 3 out of 4, we can get that over for their win total. I think I've been saying this past few days because it's on my mind. I guess some people probably have 89, 90, 91, somewhere in that range. I'm at 90 and a half, so I need 91. And yeah, here we go. They're fun again, though. The ball is coming off the bat really hard. Yankees fans are booing their pitcher in the first inning, so things feel good. They feel good. It's just a little bit of a sour taste about the division, obviously, but it is what it is. Things are supposed to happen for a reason. The lineup is potent. They're going to have really tough decisions, and it almost doesn't even involve Jackson, right? Like whether or not McCann gets to start in the wild card, Kerstead, O'Hearn, Mountcastle, that whole trio. Not everybody's going to get to play, and I don't know how Slater gets in there, even if it's a lefty starter. The way they're hitting the ball right now, so things are looking up. Eflin walks 5 guys, and Bowman gives up a 3-run homer in the 8th inning or ninth, whatever, to Judge, and somehow we still win. It's just, yeah, things are looking up. And yeah, so let's not talk about it too much. Let's see if they can win again tonight and make the weekend really interesting. As far as the game tonight, a lot of things happen. Well, first of all, game is Cowboys Giants, and both teams couldn't be going in more opposite directions. So I'll just get it out of the way. I absolutely love the Giants. I feel really, really good about this game tonight. As good as you can possibly feel betting on Daniel Jones, albeit right. So I'm not going to be emptying out the bank account here, but I do really like the Giants plus the 6, and I think it's the same spot how I felt about Washington on Monday, where I think it's a 50-50 game on who wins. Would not be surprised at all if the Giants win. The Cowboys are going to struggle to move the ball. So let's go over, kind of go both sides of the ball, why I think this way. And yeah, just kind of break it down, give my thoughts, and I'll get out of here and hope everybody has a great day. So, Giants, when they have the ball, last week, the 21 points they scored, and technically they could have scored 28 and it probably would have made the spread different. But the running back Singletary did the smart thing, decided to fall down at the 1 yard line. So they could have had 24 or 28 points. They get 21. But Cleveland's got, a fantastic defense, especially at home. And the Giants just made plays. They were able to run the ball okay enough. And Daniel Jones on third down was good enough. Malik Neighbors, that's my favorite bet for today. He'll get all the focus, and it just doesn't matter. The Cowboys secondary is not good. The Cowboys defense in general is not good. The Ravens could have scored a lot more points last week, but they took their foot off the gas because they had such a big lead. And then the Cowboys are playing catch up. So if Tucker makes the field goal, it's 31. And if the Cowboys were more competitive in that game and it was 31-20 instead of 31-6, it would not have been surprising if you watched the game if the Ravens hung 45 on them. The Saints hung 44, and then they couldn't move the ball against the Eagles. So something's got to give here as far as this Cowboys defense is concerned. It's just not that good. And to give 6 points on the road on a short week, bad vibes, they don't really do anything great on defense. Now, I think part of the reason why the line is the way it is they absolutely destroyed the Giants last year, 40-0 and 49-17. So it's not a great matchup last year. Completely different team, in my opinion, because the Giants now are just leaning on short passes, not trying to do too much here with Daniel Jones, just run the ball, and their defense is way better up front. They had a ton of sacks last week against Watson. A little bit of fool's gold because Watson holds the ball a lot, but he's also not running around the same way Dak's not running around. The Cowboys' offense is not dynamic. They can't run the ball. Lamb is underperformed so far. You're betting on pedigree with the Cowboys. You're betting on last year. You're betting on trends that I just have to stay away from. And I like to evaluate the X's and the O's right now and what's happening. And all things point towards the Giants. The Cowboys might get it together and they might not, but I think they have to lose another game that they shouldn't lose in front of a big audience like tonight to possibly get it together. Like they don't feel like they've hit rock bottom. The way they came back last week, I think it's going to give them some false confidence. They don't do anything great. and they're going to try to focus on getting the ball to Lamb. But being on the road and that Giants defensive line, I think it's going to be the difference tonight. I got under Cowboys points. I got over on the props with Neighbors. I got over on the rushing yards with Singletary, and I got the Giants covering 6 points. So typically, the rule of thumb is you don't want to bet you don't want to bet on bad quarterbacks. I don't think I put Daniel Jones in the bad quarterback category, especially with Brian Daboll. I don't think what they did 2 years ago was a fluke. I think that he's okay. I think you I think you would need a great team around him to win the Super Bowl. I don't think he can be a catalyst for it, but I don't think he's terrible. And I think he moves a lot and he's home. And they got embarrassed last time they were home against the Vikings on opening day. And then they played a really competitive game against Washington. Should have won the game, held Washington to 7 field goals. You saw what Washington did against Cincinnati. They just didn't have their kicker, so they had to go for all these extra 2 point conversions instead of extra points. So I didn't want to bet the Giants last week, but I had a feeling that they were going to come out and cover because Cleveland just can't move the ball really against anybody, and that Giants defense is underrated. But what happened to start that Browns game is the Giants fumble the kickoff, Browns go up 7-0, and very similar to the Commanders, you're like, man, I bet the wrong team. Can that kind of quarterback come back? But the Giants did. They came right back and they dominated for the rest of the game. And I just don't see the Cowboys being able to pull away. I think if the Cowboys end up winning the game, I got it 20-17 or 17-13, something like that. Giants are going to want to run the ball for sure. They got blown out last time against the Cowboys, so there's added motivation to that's just how this is. You get humiliated and you don't want it to happen again. So they'll come out conservative, run the football, and the ball's got to go to Malik Neighbors. Like, that's just where the ball goes. He is, it's only been 3 games, but he's getting up there as far as one of the best receivers in football. The receiver position is the easiest position to transfer from, college to the NFL. If you're a great receiver and you're already physically built, those, traits tend to carry over, and he's great. So he's going to get a lot of the attention, but at the same time, these great receivers get open. So I look for his props tonight, and yeah, got the Giants. And carry on more and more and more about it, but yeah, I like the Giants tonight. Don't like the Cowboys. I would say the overall take is fade the Cowboys more so than jump on the Giants. But at the same time, ride the momentum of the Giants. Like they just won at Cleveland. It's a short week. They're in a good mood. To me, you have to stay away from the game tonight or go with the Giants. I do feel strongly about that. So that is my take for this morning. As far as everything else going on for this weekend, I'm pretty caught up here with all the football games. The injury reports just drive me crazy. And a lot of times it's like I liked the Colts last week. And I know it might sound a little like overthinking it, but I knew Buckner wasn't going to play. But the Latu guy who ended up causing the fumble, he was questionable. And it's like I have to see the inactive list before I bet my own money, like significant money, most of the time. Like there's just certain games or certain players. The Bengals, for example, the other night, I would not have been so high on the Commanders, except BJ Hill and I think it's Rankins. Both their defensive tackles were inactive. And so there's certain things that I tend to look for, but this Giants Cowboys game, everything all go for me. I've seen enough. I watched the entire Cowboys game because it was the Ravens. And after watching, the highlights, and I'm not gonna say I watched every play of the Giants Browns, but I saw enough where I'm like, man, this Giants defense is dynamic. It really is. I think they're gonna get some headlines here tomorrow morning. Giants beat the Cowboys is my ultimate prediction, somewhere in that, like I said, 20-16, 2017. If the Cowboys are on the right side of that, the +6 will get us home. And yeah, for the rest of the weekend, I say all that about the inactives because I'd rather Sunday morning to go through all the NFL games. The only thing that jumped out at me early in the week is the Bucks, but I know I'm biased against the Eagles going into it, so I was probably going to like anybody. But I do think the Bucks getting their ass kicked by the Broncos is actually a good sign to take the Bucks this week. They are banged up, but Eagles stink. So I like the Bucks there. Other spread that did jump out at me that I looked at this morning that I want to figure out if I'm going to go to the well here again against Aaron Rodgers is the Broncos getting 7.5 feels like way too many points. I'm still not sold on the Jets. They had the ball the entire game, and Rodgers was great. but it was primetime game. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to be replicable. I don't know if it was more of an indictment that the Patriots made, no attempt to actually score, so the Jets had the ball the whole time. So that jumped out at me though, like the Broncos. All right, so that's that. I'm gonna do one other little change that we're making is Clayton, J. Mart, and our college football show. It's gonna be more towards more college football games, just kind of going through all the games, getting their quick thoughts on it. So hopefully something can help you guys when you make your bets. And we're gonna have that come out Saturday morning, and then the pod I do with Jack will either come out basically whenever we record it. So if it's late Friday, that's when we'll put it out. But I want that Saturday morning show to be just as many college football games as possible. So we will put that out Saturday morning, and I'll be here Sunday morning. Should be here Friday. I'm in the middle of the hurricane, so hopefully it doesn't hit us. I say that, um, tongue in cheek because I am in the middle of it. I can't control it, so I don't think about it. But they did close schools here tomorrow, so hopefully I don't lose power or the internet or anything like that. I certainly will communicate with everybody and let you guys know. But yeah, like the Giants tonight. Any questions or follow ups on that, or you want to tell me I'm crazy? Now would be a good time because I'm going to put the bets in here in a few hours myself just to double and triple check everything. But yeah, I'm rolling here with the Giants tonight. And cool. I'll see you guys in the morning. Hopefully, we get another good week. All right. See you guys.